matter of putting everything in an order.
I've been called worse, bro.
Oh no, man.
No problem. Whatever you say.
Why can't your name be like Jim Adam, like mine?
Simple. I say that whenever I sign anything.
Welcome back, everybody. Saturdays with Chickenduck, episode 136. Joining us this week, Ryan Vu.
You got it right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good job.
1 for 1.
Yeah. Keep it
Casey's
going.
here.
Hello.
I'm here. Brad Weidenhammer's here. Weidenhammer.
You got it.
Weidenhammer. Let's just
easy.
fucking get it out.
It's easy. It's easy. You got it, bro.
Brad, you are the event coordinator for Cigars for Warriors. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And you also own FatAsh Cigars. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And you're going to get into some other fun stuff that you got. We got some cigars here.
Yep.
Casey's lining them up to take them apart and put a bunch of
deconstruction about to happen.
Possible medical cigars. I don't know. What's going on with you today?
Well, first, before we get into anything with Brad, I wanted to. Did you know we started a new podcast, Ryan?
You did.
Berks County Unsolved.
You would have known that, but
had you been here last week?
We're not here.
Oh yeah, no, I wasn't.
And we had to call in an expert. I mean, so now we have an expert.
Oh,
yeah.
You have an expert.
Yeah.
That's great.
Jim's cousin, Kenny Regal.
He's our new
Kenny
expert.
the expert.
He's our research and development.
Well, he's an expert in all things Gary.
Gary.
We're thinking about changing the name of the show and just doing people that are dead named Gary. Gary Redner, Gary Miller this
Next week's
week.
Gary Miller.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, there's a theme there.
Keeping it going for the Gare Bears.
Keeping it going for the Gare Bears.
But anyway, so the first I posted that the episode was live last week on Instagram, and we got a lot of feedback on it. But one thing that we did
a handful.
a handful.
Yeah.
So the one thing that
Couple cousins commented.
Right, yeah. Like, I don't count your
relative.
family. You know what I mean?
well, no, I don't know this guy. So,
No. I wasn't referring to him.
Gary's cousin is highly offended.
No, we
Some
didn't. I don't
guy-
think we did. We didn't. I mean,
Actually, I did listen to it.
it was nice. I thought it was.
Yeah.
I
What'd
tried
you
to
think?
stay as serious as possible. And you guys, I mean, well, except for Amelia Earhart. My bad.
the least serious.
I swear
Amelia
to God,
Earhart.
I thought I was gonna die when I listened. I listened to it at work, and towards the end of we had done a full episode of this, and then we did this first episode of this second, the Unsolved, and I tried to stay relatively serious, but by the end of it, I was. And
I had a chicken duck spin on it.
Yeah. He asked me what we were going to talk about next week, and my response was a millionaire Earhart. I believe
It was
came
Earnhardt,
out of,
I
it
think
came
it
out
was.
of my it came out of my name all fucked up. So, and I heard that at work, and was laughing to the point where the people that I work with were concerned about me. So.
Yeah, the Amelia Earhart got a lot of people commented on on how funny that was. But anyway, this guy he wrote, "Super disappointed with this show. Did they even do any prep? I don't know where to start. I guess the only positive thing to say is that maybe it can't get any worse."
I think it might be Mina. I think it might be Mina Servino. Savari, whatever the fuck her name is. She blocked us, so it doesn't matter.
Could be fake
That's
account.
the one that blocked us, right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
I was hoping. I had to look that up. I figured that out by going on the American Pie Wikipedia page and finding the cast, and I was like, I think that's her.
She's a Hollywood movie star.
She was the one from American Beauty, right?
She
Okay.
made a fake account just to trash this podcast.
She finally caught us.
Yeah.
She heard our first episode of our new podcast and wanted to trash us for it. Yeah. So thanks a lot, Mina. We're on to you. So tell me about the rest. Who is the person? Did you?
His name.
I don't need to dox. Like, I don't need his actual name. I don't even need to know that. But like, do we know this person?
Nope.
How the fuck? Just organically found our new podcast?
Yeah, because I put like hashtags Reading, Pennsylvania, hashtag Berks County.
Live PD.
So any like, somebody's looking for, they'll come across it.
Trump 2020, all kinds of fucking shit.
So
well, first of all,
the only thing that I know about this guy is that his wife is a realtor in Berks County. So I'm sure that they were just looking up like hashtag Berks County or something and found it.
So How do you know it's a dude?
Because his name is Bryce. Like, I can see his Instagram.
Okay.
He commented, like, on his Instagram page.
Okay.
Like, on our Instagram.
Well, like, again, I don't care to even I don't want to get personal because I agree with his opinion. If I can reach out to him and ask him what he possibly where he could have gotten the idea that we care
Well, he's obviously
about what we're doing. Or
never heard Chickenduck.
Okay. I mean, that would be the only way it would make sense because, like, I say very, very regularly about how little effort I actually want to put into this, and that I just have to walk down from my living room, and here I am. Like,
sometimes that's even
I button most of my buttons.
Sometimes that's even a struggle.
I didn't. Yeah, I gotta be honest. Some mornings.
So I posted that guy's comment to the Berks County Unsolved Instagram like story feed, and we got a couple comments. My friend Gabby, who is her name is the Stitch Bitch on Instagram. She's like she does crocheting and all kinds of shit.
Oh, Gabby.
Yeah, you know her?
No.
She wrote, "What a savage! I really enjoyed the show." And then this is my favorite one. This is one of Kenny's friends, and I don't know if I should say her name, but she wrote, "Fuck that person. I might have some White Claws in me, but number one, Kenny Regal is the GOAT. I hope you have him on more episodes. Number two, you could slightly tell you guys read the facts, but number three, the relaxed banter and theories on the case were hilarious and intriguing. Tell that person to go shit in their hand, unless of course you know them. In that case, I apologize. I'm a huge true crime listener, and I will be tuning in next week. I really enjoyed the show."
See, like that's fucking funny. I mean, because that's all that's the enjoyment is the fact that I get to, say completely nonsensical bullshit and fuck with you the entire time. That's the only thing I take from it. So whatever. Sorry, Bryce.
Yeah. They'll get better.
Sometimes you'll have this.
High expectations.
I don't know where he got them from though. Like, that's my sorry that
maybe
you were
because
thinking.
we've been prepping the show for I put on.
You have a logo.
I think I put on in January.
It has been a while.
Coming in March.
Yeah, we went on hiatus.
So we're good for November. We had it actually out in October.
Got all of our Garys out of the way.
Not yet.
Well, we will.
Yeah.
Are there any more Garys?
I looked. I couldn't find any. I was trying.
I'm gonna have to make one. You know what that means. So.
All right. So let's get into
cigars. Let's talk cigars. How did you get into cigars?
Oh, geez. I've been smoking cigars off and on for probably about 20 years now. But seriously started getting into them back, I'd say 2012-ish. Buddy of mine, Dak Shingle, was a big cigar smoker, and we rode motorcycles together. So he took me to a place in Bethlehem called Cigars International, which is a massive cigar store, and walked in. And from that point forward, it just basically changed my life as far as cigars is concerned, because I was hooked from that point forward.
Now, I like drinking Jameson or any kind of whiskey.
Sure.
While I'm smoking a cigar. That's really the only time I truly enjoy. I don't seek out cigars, but I absolutely enjoy them when I have the opportunity. And my honeymoon, I couldn't I have a picture of Devin with this fucking look like that, and she's sitting there. And we each had some, she had some cognac. And
there's
few things better than some whiskey. And
it's a lot like
cigar.
food. It's all about what you as an individual like to pair it with. It doesn't matter. I like coffee's my favorite, and then it's bourbon, rum, that kind of thing.
Sure.
But there's people that like it with soda. There's people that like it with iced tea. It doesn't matter. It basically is whatever you like. And that's the thing.
I guess now that you say that, I could probably mix just about anything with Jameson, and I'd be happy.
True that.
Yeah.
And same with bourbon and me. You give me some Woodford, and I don't give a shit.
Yeah. Now that you say
drinking
that,
it.
I guess I don't. Whatever. I'd eat this keyboard if you want to. Sure.
Hell yeah.
Goes great with this 16-year single malt.
So isn't there one of those cigar internationals now in Hamburg too, right?
It started in Bethlehem. They built a huge store in Hamburg. It has like 1 million cigars in it or some shit like that.
Shit.
They got like 2 bars.
And you get food like those. You can order food from
somewhere
there.
There's a Red Robin across the street.
I haven't ever been there.
And I guess there's a few pizza shops and shit like that where you could call up and have it delivered. They have food on the menu, but it's basically anything you can put in a microwave.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not really considered food.
Yeah, you're not going. I mean,
so yeah, and then
how often do you go to a cigar bar looking for a meal?
Get a hot pocket and a cigar.
There is a place up that I go to a bunch up in Easton called Famous Cigar Shop, and it's called Leaf Cigar Bar and Restaurant, where they have a place where you can buy the cigars, and then right next door, full-blown restaurant bar where you can sit in there and eat, smoke, drink, watch TV, whatever. It's fucking phenomenal. It is
smoke
amazing.
Inside the restaurant.
Yep.
It's like a fucking time machine, bro.
What's that place called?
It's called Famous Smoke Shop, and the restaurant is called Leaf Cigar Bar.
I
and
have to
Restaurant.
fucking bleep that out. I don't want anybody else to fucking hear about it. Like the fucking.
It is the best place ever because the food's amazing. They got anything you want. They got craft beers, liquors, you name it, and you can literally sit in there and smoke. And they got all this smoke eater shit that it doesn't even get cloudy.
No shit.
It's fucking amazing.
How in the fuck do they get away with that? I want to try. I'll have to find out.
If you're serving food, aren't you allowed to, or is it the other way around? If you serve,
They
food,
stopped that rule.
Yeah, somehow
it used to be the 80-20 rule is what you're probably talking. Like if you served more, 80% of your 80% of your revenue was from alcohol, and 20% or less was from food. You can still smoke inside.
Yeah.
If it was anything more than that, you couldn't. But that stopped like 5 years ago, to my understanding. Now, I mean, again, it's not a private club.
No.
Wow, that's insane.
Nah, if you ever, I tell
I'll
anybody,
be
anybody. The only thing that sucks about it, quite honestly, is like an hour and 20 minutes away to get there. If it was closer, fuck, I'd never be home.
Yeah, we'll have to check that out.
Shit.
I've never heard of that, and I will have to find that because I don't get up that way too often, but
yeah, it's pretty amazing.
It's a nice little spot.
Pretty amazing.
She can smoke all the Newport she wants.
Mm-hmm.
You can smoke anything in there.
Anything. Well,
right. How about vape? Vape pen?
Sure.
Vape pen full of THC? Oh yeah, sure.
They actually sell they got this whole line of CBD shit up there.
Oh yeah.
And a buddy of mine, I'm gonna try not to fuck up his last name, Risteski. He's the owner of a cigar company called JSK. He actually came out with a line of CBD infused cigars.
No way.
And you go 25, 50, and now he came out with 100 milligrams. And I've only had the 25 and the 50. I haven't had the 100 yet. But he said the market for this is just, he wouldn't have to make any regular cigars ever again the rest of his life. He could just make these CBD cigars. That's how much this shit's blowing up.
Wow, that's great.
And they're a little bit more pricey. I mean, you're talking for one of the 100 milligrams, it's probably like $20-25 compared to like 9-10.
Yeah,
but
for nobody
these.
gives a shit. We can put any number on that.
But people they're eating this shit alive. Yeah. So
wait till next year when you can put THC in it.
Oh, he's messing with all kinds.
I mean,
of shit.
We're so close to that. It's a fucking matter of time. Anybody that's in the tobacco industry or the related industries, I'm sure, is just waiting.
He's just ahead of the curve. He's the first one to actually come to market with the CBD
That's
cigar.
crazy.
And now everybody else is like, oh shit, why didn't we do that? So yeah, it'll be.
Now, do you know how he's doing? Is he actually like putting like hemp leaves in it, or
I honestly don't know. I know he's got some laboratory that does it and makes it all official and whatnot. But like I said,
probably not. I would have to imagine he's using an extract in there.
I would guess you're probably right, but
I would imagine that's extremely difficult to fucking
to make sure it burns right and everything.
Right, but I mean, up until like last week, you couldn't have hemp anywhere in the country. Like they just said, okay, we can have hemp now. Like recently, within the last month. I'm telling you, man. Okay. Well, look. It was just in the paper.
Okay.
Hemp's
disagree.
legal. Just in the paper. We landed on the moon. No, I would assume that's what it is, but again, I don't know anything. So
that's taken off, man.
But that's awesome. So
yeah, very cool. And where can you get those at?
Same place.
Up there?
Up there. That's the only one that I know of. Well, there's also another place in Bath called Caravan Cigar Company that carries all the JSK stuff. So those are the two places that I know of for sure if you want to get the CBD stuff. He calls them nugs. JSK nugs.
And is he local? Is he from?
No, he's actually from Indiana.
Oh, yeah?
He worked in the IT industry, big cigar guy, decided to start his own company. He's huge over in Europe. But he's also, he's like, you know what? I see this as an open market, so let me dabble in this. And he's just
people are fucking lined up to buy this shit.
Oh, hell yeah!
You could put CBD on a shoe and people will be fucking trying to eat it.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's the real deal too. I mean, it fucking works.
No, there are people. There are guys that I know guys that you look at and you go, I would never expect that person to buy and try a CBD infused cigar. Once they try it, they go, it helps this, it helps this, it helps this. Yeah. He's got them hooked, bro. Yeah. He's got
his
84
84-year-old grandmother uses the Charlotte's Web CBD tincture. Yeah, I guess it's called, right?
Yeah, and I mean, a bunch of people. I can't really mention them, but yeah, it's a lot of older people. A lot of people that are starting to get, like my grandmother's age, like former coworkers and shit. Like and it makes sense. It's like fucking Tylenol and Advil, but it's not as bad for your fucking liver and kidneys. Correct. Why aren't we doing it?
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Yep, I agree 100%.
Like if it's, I don't know. It's such an easy no-brainer for me, but there's obviously a lot more to it. Yep. Mostly money.
Yep. So with the CBD, though, I mean, like obviously you're not going to sit and smoke a million cigars, but
try me. No,
my headache's gone.
I'm just kidding.
But I mean, like with the CBD part of it, how it helps. I mean, like I saw, like, as it drops, you just do like a drop once a day.
Yeah.
So if you have like the vapor thing, what do you just take a couple pulls on that once and then
it's the same as
it's like taking a pill in the morning. You do it once and you're good for the day or hours.
It's the same as the THC stuff, but I mean it's.
Oh, so it's just like
I mean, like if you go to a medical dispensary,
right? You're not talking about this. You're going to smoke one of these things and you're going to be on the ground. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
No, it's you smoke one and these guys are good for, like I said, 3, 4, 5 hours, whatever it is. But if they got back pain, they got this, they got that. They said the shit like it really helps.
Yeah, because think about it, Ron. If you're taking like a drop of that or whatever, and they say a drop is 25 milligrams, 50 milligrams, whatever. It's the same amount that's in that cigar.
Right.
So.
Yeah, the hundreds. He said the 100 milligrams are, people were buying the 25s and the 50s, but once he came out with the hundreds, he's like, that's the one. That's the sweet spot for a lot of people is the 100.
Well, I mean, it's not an investment of, I mean, $20 or $25 isn't a huge investment, but I mean, a cigar is a lot for a lay person to smoke.
Sure.
So you smoke a cigarette, it'll take you, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever it takes you. You smoke one of these. This is like there's a hour long procedure of it. Might go out a couple times while you're there.
Yeah, no, there's a famous cigar blender in the industry. His name's Jose Blanco, and world famous or whatever. And I become friends with him just by chance or whatever. Run into him a bunch of times, and he's like, his biggest thing is he's got 2 rules. 1. Never smoke next to an asshole. 2, when you go into the cigar shop and you're looking for a cigar, the number one thing you need to worry about is how much time do you have to smoke it? Because I'm not going to pick up something like this that's going to take me an hour and a half to smoke if I only got 30 minutes.
Right.
I mean, so it's all about picking the cigar, and there's all kinds of sizes, shapes, varieties, blends, whatever, that fits what you're trying to do at that particular time. But it can be, if you got 3 hours to kill in an afternoon, they got cigars for that, bro. I mean,
I've seen them.
It's whatever you want.
There's few things as cool as like walking into a fucking walk-in humidor and they're just being like fucking, when we went to the Dominican.
Yeah, isn't that the picture where she's sitting at the
Yeah. The guys rolling them in the corner. It was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And they let you pretty much wander around and do your own thing and pick a couple out. It was fucking really cool.
Yeah, there's nothing quite as good as a fresh rolled cigar.
Yeah. I'll give you that.
So will they are the people there at the stores that like knowledgeable? Like, if you go in and tell them, I have this much time. How does that even come about? Like, I would have never even thought that about like how much time do I have to smoke.
Do you know how many varieties and shit of these things are? Like,
I mean, I've seen stores and shit. Like, I know there's a ton of them. But
okay,
I mean,
so there's a whole store. If there's a fucking store the size of Radio Shack and it's full of cigars instead of fucking computer parts. There are so many different fucking varieties and flavors
But you'd be surprised though. To your question, there's a lot of places you go where they're right on top of it. You tell them.
I would hope
it even goes off based on what we talked about earlier. What do you like to drink? You know what I mean? What are you doing with it? What kind of food do you like? You know what I mean? Shit like that. So they can tell, like, do you like really spicy food? Do you like really mild shit? Do you like this? Do you like that? And they can pretty much, with a certain degree, they can get you to a cigar that will most likely be one that you like. Now you go into certain places, the fucking guys don't have a clue.
Sure.
You know what I mean? He's just there to collect his paycheck and pick whatever the fuck you want. I don't care. But in most places, if you go in there, they should have somebody that can ask you a handful of questions and get you where you need to get.
Yeah, I never even would have thought of something like that about.
Could be your new thing. Evel wasn't a big cigar guy.
I don't know.
You might want to find that out.
Yeah.
I know he had his own cigars.
Did he really?
They made Evel Knievel cigars, yeah.
I don't know, bud. You might want to figure that
down from the 70s.
You might want to probably find the guy that was rolling them for him. Oh man.
Yeah, I never would have thought of all that about what you drink, eat, like to do. Matching that to a cigar.
Yeah, there's different. There's so many. There's strengths to cigars. There's flavor profiles to cigars. It's like, this is like making food, or it's making wine, or it's whatever. You're taking a whole bunch of different ingredients from different places, different countries, and you're mixing them together to come out with a finished product that has a flavor or a strength that is a particular, like I said, flavor or strength. So you're trying to make a cigar that's strong and spicy versus a cigar that's mild and, it won't knock somebody on their ass. And then you've got nicotine levels, which are involved in this. I mean, there's so many different varieties.
And now
that you
CBD.
can do. And now CBD. I mean, it's the menu of shit that you can do with these things, particularly when you start throwing in Dominican Republic versus Nicaragua versus Cuba versus Honduras versus Mexico versus you name it. Shit's all over the map. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and you're really only talking about the leaves that go around it. And then the tobacco.
It's everything.
Of it.
Yeah, you got the whole the filler inside. You got the binder. You got the wrapper. You got all that kind of shit.
Now, when you say nicotine levels, I mean, I don't know, but I mean, I think of like a cigarette has an amount of nicotine in it. No matter what kind of cigarette you buy, that cigarette has, just gonna say a number, 0.2 or something. Is there like a certain range then, like by government for cigars, of nicotine levels?
7 cigarettes worth.
Yeah, no, there's no official, like, you're not saying, like, there's no, the FDA is really fucking with cigars right now, and they're making cigar manufacturers on boxes put like this warning label that's got to cover like 35% of the box or something like that says they have nicotine, they're bad for you, all that kind of shit. Mm-hmm. There's no legal precedent that says they have to list how much nicotine's in each cigar. Yeah. It's just based on the fermentation process and how much Ligero and all that kind of stuff they put in the cigar. A certain cigar is going to have nicotine that's going to be like, you better eat a big meal.
Dude, I got so fucking sick.
Yeah. I'm
telling you, at Bert's graduation party, I was 18 at one of my buddy's graduation parties, and his dad gave us all a fucking cigar, and I've never been fucking sicker in my entire life. I'll never forget it, man.
Fuck your world up.
Spinning like seriously. It was like the fucking Sandlot. Yeah. Like I was standing behind the fucking shed, just puking my fucking head off.
I've been there.
I felt like I was just spinning.
That's
fine. I ate. That's fine.
Yeah, just for the record, if you ever get that feeling again, sugar.
Yeah.
Drink a Coke. Whatever they say that helps it, but whatever. But yeah, there are certain cigars where, if you ain't ready, then get ready because it will. You'll get the sweats, you get the spins, and it'll fuck your world up.
Wow.
Yeah, because I know I have the vape, and I know like a friend of mine has a higher nicotine level in it, and if I pull too many times on his vape, I'll get lightheaded and I get a headache. And you know what?
Well, it's the same as smoking fucking 9 cigarettes back to back, or something stupid like that. Your body's not built for that shit.
Yeah, what screws a lot of people up is people go by look. They think if the cigar is lighter in nature or color, that it's milder. And I think the darker the cigar, they think it's like really strong, and that is not true at all. So that can, you'll have these guys that don't know what they're doing. They maybe don't ask any questions, and they're walking in there and they're getting cigars for them and their buddies for the weekend or whatever. And they go, "Look at this dark thing, man."
I would be that guy.
It's boom, boom, boom. And then instead of seeing the pictures having a good time, they're all leaned over the railing, fucking throwing up. You know what I mean?
That was
so much for
Like
that
they
weekend.
just got off a boat.
Yeah. And they'll sit around and they'll go, "Oh, well, that cigar sucks."
Yeah.
No, it's not that cigar sucks. It's you just bought the wrong one.
It's like you smoke 3 packs of
exactly.
cigarettes in a row.
You just
that.
have
I'd be the
nicotine
guy
poisoning.
doing that to my friends. Yeah, that would be me. I don't know anything.
I always tell anybody if you go in, ask questions, man. Like you gotta, because there literally is something out there for everyone. Even flavored ones, even the acids and whatnot like that. There is literally something for everyone.
I'm a cigar guy now.
Do you remember when we thought we were going to get arrested when we got pulled over one time when we were smoking a cigar?
Yes. Yeah.
I think we were like, had just turned 16. Like I had just got my driver's license.
You were 16 because you're a year older than I am. Yeah. We've come a long way, pal.
So how did you get into then developing your own?
Well, it started for me, like I said, I started seriously getting into them about 2012. And there is an app that you can get. It used to be called Cigar Dojo. And because of the FDA, mainly because of Apple, Apple will no longer allow any apps that have to do with alcohol or tobacco or anything like that. So it used to be called Cigar Dojo. It's now just called Dojo. It's literally a interactive social media app where guys could go on there and they could be smoking something, take a picture of it, talk about it, shit like that.
Sure.
And so I was on that for a while, and it seemed kind of cool, but it was kind of, in my opinion, it was not very personal. You might post a picture, and then nobody says anything, nobody gives a shit. It's kind of like, okay, that's cool and all,
Right.
but I was looking for a little bit more interaction than that. I wanted to, for the lack of a better term, make it sort of like a virtual lounge where you could have people from all over the place that are doing the same thing. They're smoking a cigar, they're drinking a drink, whatever it may be. But through social media, even though they're living thousands of miles away from each other, it kind of felt like you were all kind of sitting around shooting the shit. So on Facebook, we created this cigar group called FatAsh back in 2014. Started out with about 200 people to start, family, friends, uncles, cousins, nephews, you name it. We're up to about 2,700 people right now, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Wow.
I said it started in 14, so we're about 5 years into this thing. We got people from Hawaii that are in this group, California.
Dude, wait till this fucking podcast hits.
Oh my God, I'm not ready.
I'm not ready. 4 people.
I'm not ready. I might sell another couple T-shirts. I gotta get ready. But so yeah, we started that in 2014. It's kind of we haven't forced anything as far as the growth of it. It just kind of, it's like you were talking about earlier. I want to put as little effort into this as possible.
Amen. Not in my real job.
Right.
Just in this,
Right,
in this area of my life right now. It's about all the effort I have to give.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I just want to sit around and smoke with my friends. That's
Right.
all I want to do.
That's all I want to do.
Right. Yeah, I still subscribe to that theory. I just want to sit around and smoke with my friends, but it's taken kind of on a life of its own in that we now have swag that we sell, T-shirts, sweatshirts, all that kind of shit that for whatever reason people want to buy. Then we...
Sounds like Jim.
Back in...
He was even kind
For
enough to
whatever
send me a
reason.
patch.
I only have one patch.
back in 2016, I became friends with these guys that make Protocol cigars, which are made in Nicaragua at a factory called La Zona by Eric Espinoza, and kind of jokingly kicked around, maybe we should make our own cigar. Ha, ha, ha. And he didn't see the humor in it. And he goes, no, you guys fucking should make your own cigar. So that's what we kind of embarked upon, and 3 years ago came out with our very first official FatAsh cigar with the help of these guys that run Protocol Cigars, Bill Ives and Juan Cancel. And so every January now we have a big cigar. We call it the FatAsh Bash. It's up at that place I was talking to you earlier about, Leaf Cigar Bar in Easton. So we get about 200, 250 people up there in January, where we release a cigar now every January, a new blend, a new size, a new whatever. And Famous up there sells them for us, and we have a day of raffles and auctions and food, booze, drink, whatever.
So there's like a whole fucking craft cigar. Like there's this whole craft beer thing.
Same.
Right?
It's the same.
Same.
But for whatever reason, the government's cracking down on cigars.
Smoke.
And alcohol is fine. But yeah, it's the same thing. It's the same.
I agree with you, not with the government.
Right.
Yeah, whatever.
So yeah, it's the same principle. There's because of the FDA, it's becoming harder to do. But there was a number of years there where there's cigar companies popping out of everywhere, just making these.
Well, Christ, I remember a couple of years ago you couldn't go into a bar that didn't have like the little
humidor thing.
Yeah, there was a guy around here. One of our buddies was selling them for a while. What?
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
One time we had seen him. I think Zach and I had saw him somewhere, and I said, "Does he have a humidor under that coat?"
One of big puffy coats.
Yeah, something was keeping it warm.
That's funny. How are you involved with the Warriors?
Well, again, started getting into cigars, and then there's events at local lounges. Suburban Cigar Lounge over in Mount Penn.
I was wondering.
I've always another Gary.
I've always heard that. And he's not dead though.
No, he's
all of our Garys.
Okay,
are
no,
dead,
well,
Brad.
don't
lump him in with our Garys.
This Gary kind of has 1 foot there, but so far I think he's okay.
Yeah, as long as he doesn't mysteriously disappear.
No,
that's the kind of the gist of our Garys.
I can't be held responsible for that.
Now it's out there. So.
Is that right across from the police station?
Yeah.
Yes.
Suburban. So they switched it into
around the fucking corner from where you live.
Yeah.
It was a cigar bar back then, dude.
It was?
Just
I thought
about.
It was just called the Suburban Tavern.
It's a restaurant downstairs with a bar, and then Gary converted the second floor into a cigar lounge with the humidor, and he's got a bar upstairs and all that kind of shit. So, but he would have different manufacturers come in and do events where they'd be offering special deals on cigars, and you'd get to meet the owner and all that kind of shit. And being the cigar nerd that I whatever, you get over and you get to meet these guys. And then I found out about Cigars for Warriors, what they do, and there was no local representation, whatever you want to call it. So, I contacted them, filled out the application, went through the whole process or whatever. So now I'm officially able to go over where there's a cigar event and collect monetary and cigar donations for the troops that are stationed overseas and all that kind of shit. So,
very cool.
Very good.
My small way, so my brother's in the service. He's in the Army. He's over in Germany right now. So I never served, but it's my small way of trying to do something to help out.
That's awesome. Yeah. Put a little link.
Absolutely, yeah. There was only one episode that's actually happening.
Damn, dude. I'm telling you, I'll have it figured out.
Yeah, I can tell whether your green screen. You'll have to show the other guys.
No, I'm not going to show anybody.
Fantastic green screen.
What's the name of that guy on Instagram? I'll make sure to send that video to him
there
so
you
he
go.
can check it out for me.
Which guy?
The fucking guy that shit on
Bryce.
us.
Bryce is.
Check my video. It's out there. 145. Oh man, you're gonna have to delete that.
It'll get bleeped.
It won't. Do you know how to bleep video yet?
Well, I take the audio and I add it to the video. So whatever I do to the audio,
Chris Billingsley.
Chad.
Chad Billingsley. Yeah. Sorry.
Very cool about the Cigars for Warriors. Are there any events coming up at all that you'll be at? Or?
Not that the next event we have that I am right now aware of, and this shit can pop out of nowhere sometimes depending on somebody's travel schedule or what they got going on. I'm sort of the last to know sometimes when it comes to shit like that. But we, FatAsh, has our FatAsh Bash 3.0 coming up on January 11th, where we're releasing our next cigar. Made by Eric down at Lazona, and Cigars for Warriors will be there. We're collecting all kinds of stuff. We're actually doing auctions and raffles to support an organization called Smoking Shields, which collects money to donate to families of fallen police officers. So
cool.
Police
Very
officers are big cigar smokers, so these guys really support us in the group. They support cigars in general. So January is the next one that I know of where we'll be blowing it out with booze and cigars and trying to raise a shitload of money and all that.
In Bethlehem.
In Easton.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Leaf Cigar Bar in Easton.
It's all the same to me.
Nah,
Yeah,
I
you'll
got
have
you.
to send me all the links, and then I'll put them on our
Awesome.
on all the stuff.
Awesome. Yeah.
So I gotta ask you too. I don't know if you guys know this, but Brad is my uncle, and growing up, you always had.
You
small-
mentioned that. I thought you were fucking with me.
Yeah, I thought so too.
No, it's real.
Yeah.
That's a real thing.
You always had just a small
Mhm.
goatee, and now I always see on your Instagrams and such, you're in a group called the Bearded Villains.
Mm-hmm.
So what's
It took Instagram to
Well-
realize that he's got a fucking.
Well, I
beard.
honestly haven't seen him. And
No,
I
it's-
can't even tell you the last
Yeah,
time I saw
it's-
Brad.
It's years.
Yeah, I'd certainly hope that's fucking years worth of beard.
No, it's
Doing that in a fucking overnight, man.
Just screw that
I
last
feel
night
like
for the
a
show.
fucking
I don't walk out of here and just Velcro come on. No, I actually started. This is started last March.
Dude.
The end of February was the last time I put a razor to my face, and it started out of pure epic laziness.
That's usually where it starts.
That's all it is. Because who starts a beard in March? You know what I mean? Like it's fucking go all winter with a clean shave and
wicks
then
the sweat away.
Hey, come on, yeah, summertime, time to grow a beard. But no, it's just pure laziness. I get tired of shaving. Fuck it, this is what I'm doing. Like I said, so it's been a year and a half now or whatever. But about 2 months or so ago, a buddy of mine in Texas told me about this group called the Bearded Villains that does it's basically the group was started by a guy in California to try and dispel the stereotype that guys with beards are dirty assholes.
Oh.
You know, evidently there's some stigma
You're
out.
not doing anything to help that fucking.
There's some stigma out there where people see, and I've seen it myself.
It's
People
called Casey in his 20s.
see-
That's what the stigma is. It smells like patchouli oil and it looks like a fucking patchwork fucking quilt.
All right, so we're trying to be the anti-Casey then. But basically, it's to dispel the stereotype that guys with beards are
Disgusting
bad
hippies
guys,
or lumberjacks
whatever,
or,
all
right,
that kind
villains.
of shit. So it's basically a beard group to dispel that notion by doing basically good work in the community through charity and all
Nice.
that kind of stuff. So my buddy in Texas told me about 2 months ago. It's a process. It's not just sign on the dotted line and you're in. It's
There's other prerequisites besides having a decent beard and
yeah,
being.
you got to go through, and I'm still in that process
Holy
right
shit.
now. I
You're
am
getting vetted.
Yeah, you basically do.
Well, I
With a
thought
beard
you
like
were.
that.
No,
Jesus
it's
Christ.
yeah, but it's like I
That'd
said,
be a fucking rubber stamp.
2 months in now. I just actually Thursday, I got officially inducted per se into the Bearded Villains. But now there's 2 more steps along the way where I get.
Jesus Christ, it's like the Freemasons of beards.
There's chapters in every state. Some states have multiple chapters. There's chapters all over the world. There's like 26,000 members. It's a serious deal, but it's what interests me about it
That's fucking awesome.
is it's very charity oriented.
Yeah,
so they're
that's-
doing stuff for breast cancer, autism. I mean, it's year round. They're doing stuff. I was just at an event yesterday down in Maryland where they raised it was like $4,000 or $5,000, something like that, for a humane society down there. It was all for pets and whatnot. So
Just dudes with beards.
just dudes with beards getting
Fucking
together and
hanging
raising
out.
money. Yep.
Good shit.
Smoking cigars.
Smoking cigar, yeah. That's been kind of like
you gotta get that in there.
That's been kind of
here, guys.
That's I'm like a dealer now. You know what I mean? Just
part your beard.
You slide a couple over there every once in a while, and it's like, oh, that was really good. Hey, I know just where you can get it.
I've got them right here.
Right,
that's great.
Yeah, I saw the flag go up on your Instagram the other day. You posted a flag I figured because of all the stuff that you had been posting that there was some sort of a process to.
I was concerned after the quick look today that it might be one of those because I stopped looking at it. I thought I was kind of infringing on your person. I didn't want to get too close, but I was afraid that you were in one of those groups that did like the like that. Make like a helicopter beard, or like
no.
The guy that like braided his beard into a cage around his head with like a door on it.
It's funny because if you look at my Instagram prior to this whole process, you'll see nothing but cigars. You don't see me at all.
Right.
I am not a selfie guy at all. But part of that process is, and these guys are their big way of communicating and everything is through Instagram.
Sure.
You got to you got to show yourself and all that kind of shit. So it's like that's been probably the hardest thing throughout this whole process. Is I fucking hate doing this, bro. Like this is not me at all. And my wife is like, what? Rosie's like, what the fuck are you doing? We'll be out somewhere, and I'm like,
here's my husband again. I'm like, taking his picture.
I'm like, hey Rosie,
can you take this picture?
Can you take this picture?
You have a beard, Brad.
And she's looking at me and she's like, you are a fucking idiot. And I'm like,
why don't you just fucking braid it into the cage, Brad?
I do that all the time because like I buy a ton of different T-shirts. Like I collect T-shirts, I guess, and I'm like, Barbara, could you take a picture of me in this T-shirt so I can post it?
You have her take the fucking picture in the ventilator under the fucking crawl space.
Well,
with you peeking out, Barbara.
This is a Kodak moment here.
Barbara, can you take a picture? What? So fucking random.
I gotta document my life, man.
Well, I know how to animate now.
So yeah, you really do. So what's with all the? I saw on those bearded villains all the different emojis. Is that
they all stand for something? I can't tell you.
He's gonna fucking kill you if he tells you anymore.
I can't tell you off the top of my head what each one specifically stands for, but they all have a specific meaning.
Do you have like that whole? Do you have to post that thing that you post like on every one of the Instagram, like with the? Do you have that copy and pasted? I hope, right? That you just.
Yeah, I'm not typing that every time.
Because I think that I should do that sometimes. Like I'm like, why didn't I fucking copy this the last time so I can just paste it? I'm there. I type every time that I do an Instagram post. I type every single thing.
What are you typing?
Copying like the hashtags and such.
Well, how would you know what you were gonna use if you like?
Well, a lot of them are the same that I use all the time, like podcast, Potter and Family, No Phony Podcast Network.
Yeah, if you're using the same hashtags all the time, then that's the way to go.
I don't know, man. You're the marketing whiz. Have Kenny do it.
Our
new assistant,
and now marketing.
Wear many hats. So, what is the side? What does the sticker say on the side of your little mini?
Which one? This
humidor,
one?
Yeah. No, the one on the back. Back. Spin. Keep spinning. JS. That JSK is the brand of.
That's the cigar. The guy that makes the CBD.
CBDs,
cigar.
Yeah.
They're all using the marketing, the hashtags, all that kind of stuff. Plus, it's an easy way for them to track what's going on and everything.
Fucking copy and paste it then. What are you mad at me for?
I'm not mad.
I know what hashtags are. My question is that, like, some of your Instagram posts are like pictures of this fucking lightning bug. Or here's a butterfly on a rock. Oh, here's a picture.
There feeding birds.
Here's a picture of my dog in a sweater by the fire.
I saved a squirrel.
When?
Remember that?
You saved a squirrel?
And I posted pictures about it.
Oh, yeah.
See, I gotta post these pictures like
that.
Yeah,
you get to save squirrels. I get to bury fucking bloated cat corpses. That's amazing.
What is that thing, Brad?
That's
portable humidor?
Yep,
or?
that's what we call a travel humidor. They make them in different sizes, but basically you can 5, 10, 20, 40, whatever you want to carry around.
Oh wow!
And it basically you throw these humidified gel packs in there, and it keeps them humidified because you don't want them to dry out.
Yeah.
Because then they smoke like shit. So it's basically a way of keeping them so that when you're going around, they don't get bad or anything like that.
Very cool.
So yeah, they got all kinds of different sizes and shit like that. So
You think that'll work for your weed?
Oh, absolutely. Actually, no. This works for my weed.
Same thing, just slightly smaller.
You got anything for us, Ryan?
Not much. Not much.
One of the Raiders
I haven't
play.
seen you in quite a while.
4 o'clock.
4.
Yeah.
Birds at 1 today.
yes,
I believe. Yeah.
Bears.
Last week.
The
I need.
Bears.
Yeah.
I need to. I hope they beat the Bears. The more the Bears lose, the higher draft pick gets for the Raiders.
I thought the Raiders going well.
No, I mean,
I thought they were.
not really.
No?
No. I mean, I like the progress that I see, but they're not winning a lot. They're like 3-4, 3-5, something like that.
I don't know.
No, me either.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know.
You have anything for us?
Nope, going to see Nana. I'm going to go take the boy over to see Nana.
Me too.
Are you? It's so exciting that we're related now.
oh, I got the treadmill up into the garage for you to come pick
good.
up.
Good.
Yeah.
Just
What?
let it there.
Still have a treadmill?
Yeah,
How
I'm
is
actually.
nobody taking it yet?
Well, I
Does
put
it
it on that. Yeah, it works. It's fine. I put it on the line.
Oh, on the line.
Well,
on
now
the,
you can put it on the podcast. Do a
Well-
little advertisement for you.
well, let me finish, okay? So I put it on put it on the marketplace. I got a lot of
On the
peop-
line.
Yeah, on the market line. So I got a lot of people inquiring about it. Moved it up. Talked to a guy.
I offered you to take it.
You did.
I'm pretty sure. I remember asking you if I mean you would have to pay me to come pick it up and take it.
That's right. I was about to do
That
that.
offer still stands
Well, my mom said she wants it, so I'm gonna give
in the
it to her.
garage.
Yeah, she's gonna put it in the garage.
It's in the garage.
So is a couch, tables, and a lot of other stuff still getting the basement
Watertight.
finished up.
Is it
Yeah,
still?
Ryan said that Ryan Gonzalez did the work on your basement, right?
Yes, you did.
Good
We'll
work
be
for a
having
fair
Ryan on.
price.
Yeah,
He'll be on here in a couple weeks.
yeah,
I hear he's very busy also.
yeah. He's very busy. He was there for a while. They were working on the basement.
Did his boy come and help? Did he have him and his son yet?
Oh no,
He doesn't
no.
have Mason going to work yet.
No, not yet.
I can't wait to put Carter to work. I think 3 or 4, probably. Start selling doors.
Very nice.
So,
Yeah.
you got anything for us?
No.
What can you explain the fucking hat or the head?
Tinfoil, baby.
What does that mean?
Tinfoil hat. It's a podcast I listen to. Conspiracy podcast I listen to. Sam Tripoli and XG. Xavier Guerrero.
Oh, he's the flat earther.
Yeah.
Why?
Sam isn't a flat earther. He's not against the possibility of it.
That's close enough. Why does the Grateful Dead head have?
It's the crystal skull.
From Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
What? Why? What
It's
do you mean?
well, we don't have time to get into that now.
I've got all the fucking time in the world. That's gonna haunt me. I don't know why I'm so fixated on it. That has nothing to do with Grateful Dead.
They do a new T-shirt for every one of the shows that they play. That they like a live show that they do. So this
Tour.
They're not really on tour. They do like live shows here and there.
That's a tour.
And they did one in San Francisco.
Well, the act of going from here to there would be the tour, but
It would be a show,
no,
one off,
they go one show.
and then like
It's a
few
one-show
weeks
tour.
They
later,
make one shirt,
yeah,
and you got it.
So that's a tour shirt.
Does that have the dates on the back?
no,
Oh, okay.
no, it would only be one.
That would
day.
be a
Well,
tour shirt.
they wouldn't have to put the date on it. It's the only shirt they made for that
Just-
particular
it would
show.
just have one date.
I don't even know how you got it. Well,
They-
how many
Tour
of
date.
them are there?
For every different show, they play. I mean, they make a different set of shirts for that show.
Oh.
Like they did one in the main room of the Comedy Store
Hmm.
the other week, and it was called Once Upon a Time in the main room?
I wasn't expecting the story to go nearly this long. I really thought it had something to do with the Grateful Dead and aliens, and it doesn't have to do with either. No, it doesn't. It doesn't have to do with
show in San Francisco. I'm telling you, they make like a themed shirt everywhere they go.
So the theme of that show was Crystal Skull Grateful Dead head.
They were playing Grateful Dead music while everyone was getting to their seats.
It was in San Francisco. That's
what
the
the fuck does that have to do with the Crystal Skull? You don't know. That's the fucking issue. Yeah, you have no fucking clue. Again, you have a fucking shirt and you have no clue what it means.
I'm hanging on every word here, and I'm like, I don't think anything's coming.
This is
a cool shirt.
This is just about every week.
And I like the show. Okay.
Cool.
I listen to it.
Okay.
All right.
Tell me about Thursday.
About Thursday. So this coming Thursday, it would have actually been a few days ago when this comes out. But I'm going to the Jay and Silent Bob reboot in Philadelphia. And Barbara got me a VIP meet and greet for Kevin Smith and Jason Mewes.
Where in Philly?
It's at it used to be called the Lyric. Now it's called the Philadelphia Film Society or something like that.
So it's small.
I don't think it's a big place. No, it's like a regular little theater.
Sounds
like the Raya.
Cool.
And
I would think the smaller the better in that situation, right?
So this meet and greet, I tweeted at Kevin and Jason, and I said, "Is it cool if I bring a digital recorder and 3 microphones?"
Can I bring my backpack full of stuff and record you guys?
I'm sure it didn't sound like that at all.
Dude, I'm so terrified. The way that this is going to actually happen is he's going to get there and just shit his pants.
As long as Kevin wants to smoke a joint with me, and I can,
you better
calm
be
down
fucking
a little
medicated, dude. You'll like take too much Xanax or something and be like falling asleep.
So yeah, I'm
nervous.
I'm
as
gonna
hell.
be nervous.
Yeah.
But so the only reason that idea even popped into my head that I could do that is because Kevin the other week, he's on tour now where they go almost every day with
for a show
yeah, on tour.
Different shirts.
I don't know if they have tour shirts, but they do have shirts at Hot Topic that you can buy.
They're not themed though.
They're
Hot Topic.
Jay and Silent Bob reboot shirts.
Any crystal skulls?
There might be at Hot Topic.
But Hot Topic has a.
What are you advertising Hot Topic?
I don't. Hot Topic doesn't have anything above a 1XL, so I don't think you're doing too much job at Hot Topic. Fucking skinny jeans and a fucking tight T-shirt.
So it wouldn't have even crossed my mind to ask them that, but Kevin posted the other week that this guy from I think it was called PWT podcast, Pro Wrestling Tees podcast, used his VIP
It's the only thing I can
meet
think
and
of would
greet
be.
time to interview them for their podcast.
Oh, nice.
So, and then Kevin shared it, and it got a fucking ton of likes.
There you go.
So now literally every fucking person is asking to do that.
That's probably why Jay replied, "Yes."
Yeah. Because if you find out that the 4 guys that came in front of you and the 5 guys after you also did it, you'll be pissed.
Kevin loves talking, so.
He actually did a shout out not too long ago for the Bearded Villain. Somebody must have caught up to him or whatever, and
No way. Very
posted
cool.
it on his Instagram and everything.
Very cool.
So yeah.
Well, I hope you don't mind. He's going to name drop the shit out of that on Thursday. I know a bearded villain.
Use whatever you got to use, bro.
The only thing
Going to
I
be a
need to get out
hashtag
is
there.
No, but you need to explain the whole fucking setup to him.
I'll just probably go in there like Punjaba.
Oh God! Oh man, that's exactly how it's gonna happen.
He has a couple movies out. One called Tusk, and the other one's called Yoga Hosers. And in Yoga Hosers, he plays Bratzi. It's called. It's a little
bratwurst, but it's a Nazi. Bratzi.
And when Jim and I first started the show, it was just the two of us, and we reviewed Tusk somewhat, if you would call it that, and then we also
I don't think it was a review by any means.
on Yoga Hosers, and he goes, what about those Bratzis? And I go, Punjaba. And he goes, what the fuck are you talking about? And I go, that's what he says. I said, that's Kevin Smith in the movie. I said, he says that when He goes, they're saying Wunderbar.
They say Wunderbar.
But like when I hear it, I hear Punjaba. Yeah. There he is.
Jesus.
Bratzi.
Yeah.
A
Nice.
sentient Nazi bratwurst.
Yep. I actually saw a live.
There, dude. It's hashtag Wunderbar.
I'll have to steal that and put hashtag Punjaba. And I showed it to Barbara, and she's like, "Well, I hear Punjaba too."
Oh, man.
And then we played it over, and then you can definitely hear it's Wunderbar.
Such a fucking disturbing movie.
Yep.
When's the third one coming out?
Third. Oh, I don't know. That's what I need him to reveal on Saturdays with Chickenduck.
The exclusive.
The next movie.
Breaking news.
Yeah, breaking. Like, when is Moose Jaws coming out?
That's what. It's
That's
called,
what we
Moose
need
Jaws.
to know. Because it was a 3-part
Anthology. I
Tusk,
believe.
Yoga Hosers, and then there's supposed to be Moose Jaws, which is supposed to be exactly Jaws, but with a moose.
Makes sense.
And in the North Woods
No
of
questions
Canada.
here. Oh
Anybody have anything else?
no, man. I'm gonna
Do some plugs, Brad. Where can people follow you? Find you?
Instagram, FatAsh Brad. Facebook, it's just look in groups. It's FatAsh. That's basically it. It's not. It used to be FatAsh Cigar Group. Just search FatAsh. We're on there. That's about it. You know, Protocol Cigars. January 11th, like I said, up at Leaf Cigar Bar. We're doing our party there where we're blowing it out. So that's about it. Thanks
Right
for
on.
having me on. Appreciate it.
Thanks for
Yeah,
coming.
no problem.
Thanks for the cigars.
Sure.
Thank you.
I'm gonna go puke behind the shed. Got anything else?
Nope.
It's been emotional.
Goodbye.